Seager turns on one, fly ball right center field, back to the wall.
Turned it back up this year.
It's a fly ball to deep left field, and A.J. Pollock leaves the yard to give the Dodgers. Paddock throws, and Betts goes after the first pitch, drives the ball to right center field. It's over Urias, over the wall. Lifts a fly ball to left center field, back towards the wall. It is gone! Mookie with another 3-home run game.
There we go. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. But don't forget to hit that subscribe. Welcome here to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I had a little bit of audio issues, but we've got that squared away. A big night for the Dodgers. You don't need an all-star game to have a home run derby at Dodger Stadium. 6 big flies for the Dodgers tonight, 3 of them from Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts hits 3 home runs for the Dodgers. Mash that hard button for Mookie. If you're watching on Twitter, hit that retweet. If you're watching on Facebook, share the show. But you know how we get things kicked off. Let me know where you represent here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Throw those zip codes, those cities, throw those area codes, throw them into the comment section, and give me all your fire Dodger takes, because the Dodgers erupted tonight. 11 runs for the Dodgers. They still have not lost a series all season long. The Dodgers get the win tonight against the Padres. They punish the Padres. 3 big flies for Mookie. Only Johnny Mize and Sammy Sosa have more 3 home run games than Mookie Betts. That is a franchise player right there. So here we go, guys. Let's get into these comments. I know you got a lot of takes. We're going to break it all down. Tim Rogers, there you are. What up, Tim? How's it going, my man? B-Vog, that's why we got Mookie and paid him. Exactly. That is why you give a guy like that the money, because he comes through. 3 home runs from Mookie Betts tonight. You love to see it. Doug Crosby from East Lansing, Michigan. Go Dodgers. D. Adet. We got Ruben, the Santa Maria, the 805. Jose Rod Urias had me worried, but he wrote the ship. Yeah, give Julio Urias a lot of love tonight. Julio Urias. So the Dodgers tonight, They score 11 runs on 13 hits, including 6 home runs. They get 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth. And Julio Urias, he gets the win. He's now 2-0 on the year. He's got a 2.53 ERA, and really an impressive bounce back for Julio Urias. He gives up 2 home runs in the first inning, and after that, he was hitting his spots. You saw a lot of soft contact, 13 swings and misses for Julio Urias tonight, and it was a big step in the right direction for Julio. Coming into tonight, he had 10 strikeouts and 6 walks in 15 innings. Tonight, only 3 strikeouts, but Julio Urias was doing what he does best tonight. He was hitting his spots, and he was getting a lot of soft contact. If you look at Julio Urias' night, how do you guys grade Julio Urias' night? I'm going to give it a B. I'm going to give it a B for the bounce back, because it was a big bounce back after that first inning. So the first inning, he strikes out Tatis, and that was a great sign to see Julio Urias punch out Tatis. And then how about that gorgeous grab from A.J. Pollock to Rob Machado? He got a great jump on it. He made the grab for the second out, and then he gets into trouble. You see Tommy Pham, he homers off Urias. It was an 0-2 pitch, a breaking ball in the inside corner, and it was a slider, was low and inside, and it was just a mistake pitch from Julio Urias. At that juncture, you got him 0-2. Don't give him something he can drive. He just golfed it into left field. So a mistake by Julio there, and then Hosmer. Then the Hosmer, he hits it. He thought the pitch that's right in the lefty's wheelhouse right there. That made it 2-0 Padres before. So 2-0 Padres, and that's another mistake pitch right there in the inner third against Hosmer. And before you could even take a sip of your Michelada, it was 2-0 Padres. So left that fastball up and over the plate and got into some trouble. It was a warm night at Dodger Stadium. Ball was carrying a little bit, obviously. But let's get back to these comments. Let's see some of these grades for Julio Urias. I'm giving him a B. Sandra gives him a B. Lean gives him a B+. Doug Crosby gives him a B. Isaac, home run derby power game. Go Dodgers from San Antonio, Texas. BVOG, the young kids are pitching well. Wish we could have seen that live. Kookie, hello from Danville, Bay Area. Taylor was freaking hot at the plate. Love this game. McGee, at the end there, they want to keep his pitch count low. He was throwing strikes. But yeah, Jake McGee, 24, I believe it was 24 pitches at the end there for Jake McGee. But this bullpen, 20 2/3 consecutive shutout innings for this Dodgers bullpen. Mash that heart button for this Dodgers bullpen. If you've been watching the show all year long, first show I said 2020 was going to be the year of the Dodgers bullpen, and so far they have proven me right. This Dodgers bullpen, they've got some diamonds in that bullpen. They're a major asset, and now we just have to get the starting rotation to match the level of the bullpen. I think that Julio Urias took a big step in the right direction. But let's jump back into these comments. We got Jack. What's up, Jack Dalpergang? You're going to give him an A-. What's up, Jack? You got D, a B. Killed it tonight from Jason. Dia de los Dingers from USMC. I love that. McGee. We got Patrick Gagne. Tonight's game almost had the same energy as opening day 2019. I love that. Opening day against the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers just mashed them. It did have a similar energy, but the difference tonight was you had Mookie Betts just going crazy with it. We know Mookie Betts was elite, but when you see him on your team doing that, it did feel reminiscent of that day. That day was extra special though. 8 home runs that day for opening day. We got Tim Rogers, solid B. Kaiser down though, good hitting team to beat. Yeah, exactly. That is a potent offense in San Diego, and you definitely want to see him punch out guys more. When Julio Urias is at his best, he's K-ing guys out more. But tonight, the second inning, Julio Urias, the story of the game, really, Julio Urias was he kept that pitch count low after the first inning. 21 pitches in the first, 9 in the second. 1 pitch, 1 out to get Edward Olivares, 1 out. Was getting swing and miss with his changeup early in that inning. Hedges grounds to third, gets Mateo. Then, yes, much better pitches with 2 strikes in that second inning. Gets Mateo on a well-located. That was a nice strikeout in the second inning when he got Mateo on that well-located high heat for a lightning-quick inning. Then the third inning, Tatis flies out, Machado grounds out, Pham strikes out swinging. I'm sorry, Pham, but he strikes out swinging on a fastball in on the hands. So 7 in a row retired for Urias after those home runs. Then the fourth inning, only 13 pitches. He gets Eric Hosmer with a 3-pitch out to fly to left, and then Machado soft ground out to left on a 2-2 count. 9 straight retired for Julio Urias until Profar single to right center. And then the second pitch, he gets Olivares to ground out to a force out to second. So he was keeping that pitch count low. He had much better command. No walks tonight for Julio Urias. That was the big thing. That was one of the things I was paying attention to the most. That really jumps out from his box score is no walks, and that's what you want to see. Yes, you can give up an occasional home run. He gave up 2 home runs early in the game, but you keep those walks low, and you know Julio Urias is still inducing soft contact at an elite level. Right on the year, Julio Urias coming into tonight, he's still at his 20% hard hit rate. So that's still top 8% in the league. Last year, he was in the top 1%. So we'll see how that number looks like after tonight. But if you look at his strikeout percentage, like Tim Rogers mentioned, you want to see him punch guys out. Last year, his strikeout percentage was sitting at 26.1%. This year, heading into tonight, it was 16.4%. So with the best version of Julio Urias, he's doing all those things. He's inducing soft contact, he's missing bats, and he's punching guys out, and he's keeping that exit velocity at low levels. So back into the comments here, we got Caesar. Let's go Dodgers from Tijuana. I love it. Dodgers Nation just became Dodgers Nations. We got Joseph Megazzeni, Austin Barnes. Gay, look, if we're going to trash Austin Barnes as much as we do here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show, let's give credit while credit's due. Mash that heart button, retweet, share for Austin Barnes. Because Austin Barnes, I'm extremely here for angry, take your frustrations out on the baseball Austin Barnes, okay? That is the mentality, and I give him a lot of credit because this series, I think he was at 5 for 9 at one point. Got to look that up after this, but Austin Barnes, he has a great night for the Dodgers, hits a home run, goes 2 for 4, 2 RBIs, up that average to 226. Cody Bellinger would kill for Austin Barnes' batting average right now. No, Cody Bellinger is getting better. Cody Bellinger is starting to turn it around. Lots of hard hit balls for Cody Bellinger. I think he's right there to have a breakout. He's primed to have a breakout. That first hard hit ball, that was 109.9 miles per hour off the bat. The second one, 101 miles per hour off the bat. He took a walk today. So Cody Bellinger is headed in the right directions. And how do you guys feel about Cody Bellinger? Do you guys think that he's getting there? I think that he's really getting there. To quote Yogi Berra, I ain't in no slump, I just ain't hitting. So he's not hitting, but I think that he's making his way towards getting there. And the one thing you look at is, to me, one of the things too is that ground ball rate. Last year, he was driving stuff. He was lifting stuff. If you saw his ground ball rate, it was up to 46.2% heading into tonight. Last year, it was 32.2%. So last 7 games heading into tonight, he was slashing 174, 240, 217 with 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. So the encouraging development is the fact that he's starting to smoke balls, and this year, he's just been seeing more breaking balls, more off-speed stuff, and his chase rate in his first pitch swing is down, so he's more patient at the plate, which is a good thing, and I think that he's right there. He's right there to have a big series against the Angels. I see it coming. How do you guys feel? Is Cody Bellinger close to breaking out of his slump? What do you guys say out there? Keep firing away in the comments, guys. But yeah, give Austin Barnes some love. Hey, everyone's got to have their day. Austin Barnes did his thing tonight. I'm not going to hate on Austin Barnes. Here we go. Jason, sure would be nice if Bellinger and Muncy decided to play baseball. That's Jason, and that's what we do here. We come with the fire hot takes like Jason is throwing out there right now. Yeah, Max Muncy, like I said, Max Muncy looks like he needs a hug right now. Max Muncy is as frustrated as I've seen him. He looks like Oakland A's Max Muncy, where he's just, the timing's off. He just can't get behind one. And look, I made excuses for this offense. I've cited the MLB average at 238, which is the lowest since 1968 when they lowered that mound from like 15 to 10 inches, right? But Max Muncy, if he wants a spot in this lineup, that's one of my favorite things about this team is you have so many guys that can contribute, that can get hot. And unfortunately, Max Muncy is really going through it right now. Max Muncy, let's see how he's looking. Currently, right now, Max Muncy down to 169 on the year. And the thing that jumps out with Max Muncy is those strikeouts. 24 strikeouts from Max Muncy. He just does not look like he's seeing the ball well out there. Today, Max Muncy goes 0 for 3 with the walk. Took a really nice walk there, which was something you want to see. But unfortunately, Max Muncy is struggling mightily right now. We need that pop back. Look, back-to-back years with 35 bombs. We need him down there. I did like the fact, by the way, let's give Dave Roberts or whoever, or the powers that be, credit for tonight's lineup. Look, hey, it looks like this Mookie Betts, that leadoff thing, is going to work out. It looks like it's something that might be a good idea. Don't you think, Mookie Betts? 4 for 4, 4 hits, 5 RBIs, 3 home runs. Mookie Betts raised his average tonight up to 319. That is MVP Mookie Betts. That's the guy that you backed up the Brinks truck for, with $365 million well spent for performances like tonight. But let's jump back into these comments, guys. Keep firing away with your Dodgers takes. Jason, Leanne, all my Sacramento buddies that are Giants fans think he is the next Kershaw. Who? Urias? Kershaw's going tomorrow, by the way. Sam, Santana was on it. Yeah, give Santana some credit. He's very efficient on first pitches. 5 for 6 on first pitch strikes for Dennis Santana. You love the fact that he can give you that extended relief out of the bullpen. And tonight, Dennis Santana, he goes on the night. Dennis Santana, an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, no runs, 1 strikeout, 22 pitches, 17 for strikes. So he goes in there, he pounds the strike zone. And another thing, how great was it to see Corey Seager back in the lineup? Corey Seager, where my eager Seagers at, right? Corey Seager came up and he scorched that one, a 2-run bomb for Corey Seager. And his was the most critical home run of the night. Corey Seager, yes, Mookie Betts hit 3 home runs, but Corey Seager's was the most critical one because it came when the Dodgers were trailing by 2. The momentum was low. The energy for the Dodgers lineup was, hey, are we going to get runs tonight? Corey Seager comes in there, and he fires away, and he hits a bomb in his first at-bat. He just picked up right where he left off, just scorching it, hitting it on the screws, and yeah, he comes in the first innings. Break that down a little. Mookie Betts, he gets hit by a pitch. By the way, I love the fact that's, okay, yeah, hits by a pitch. Then Corey, 3 for 6 all-time against Paddock, 2 doubles. He owns Chris Paddock. And the Dodgers had gone 2-3. Their record was 2-3 without Corey Seager. And you saw how important he is to this Dodgers lineup. 2-3 without him. Now the Dodgers improved to 13-7 today, and now they're in a tie in the NL West with the Colorado Rockies. So Corey Seager, he takes Paddock deep, the fastball inner half. You know how Corey Seager does it. He just got all of it. At Dodgers, he evens things out at 2-2. It was welcome back Corey Seager. And then Turner, he grounds to Machado. And it was a nice at-bat, worked the count deep to a 3-2 count. A hard hit, like we mentioned earlier, with Cody Bellinger for 2 outs. Then Pollock goes big fly on Paddock for his 5th home run of the year on a 94-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball. It was a bleacher reacher. It had parking lot potential. And you saw what this Dodger team does. This Dodger team feasts on fastballs. And another example right there. Corey Seager and Pollock, all they do is punish fastballs. And you saw it again tonight. So that was big. Because the Dodgers record now, when they hit a home run, look, we're in the age of the long ball. Last night was fun. You saw the small ball, this and that. But Chicks and win probability digs the long ball, right? And today, the Dodgers are now 12-4 when they hit at least 1 home run, and they're 1-3 when they don't go deep. So this team relies on the home run to score runs at the moment. But hey, let's say you're going into a slump. Look, the Dodgers had gone, I don't know how many at-bats. I think it was 20 innings without a home run before Justin Turner's home run. And yesterday, look, if you got to go small ball for a little bit to try to build some momentum and try to spark the offense, then you do it. But this team, that's going to be their MO. That's their identity. They're going to be hitting home runs, and it's going to lead to wins. But now we know we have that. We have that in our back pocket if we need to use it. We can bunt into ships. We can find ways to manufacture runs if we're not going deep. So the second inning, by the way, let's fire away on these comments again, guys. Santana was on it. Dodgers need to get in first place ASAP from Super Mario Savage. Amari, A-. I like the way he was attacking the zone. Great point there. He was trying to paint the zone. For him, it's all about command. It's all about throwing strikes, and he's getting there. For him, it's a little bit between the ears with Julio Urias, right? When he's comfortable out there and he's focused and he's throwing strikes, he's not letting first pitch fastballs get away from him. He starts to count ahead. Julio Urias is a top 2 starter and a frontline starter in your rotation. When he's not doing that, he can get into some trouble. Joseph Megzetti, thoughts on Kelly's take on the Astros? Hey, you keep coming. Hey, he was a hero. He was a hero before. He was a hero after throwing at the Astros. After listening to his podcast, his appearance on Ross Stripling's podcast, The Big Swing, he's a legend. I don't know how I feel about him defending Alex Cora, a little iffy on that, but I love the fact that he was so candid in his remarks. He is the pitcher of the people, is Joe Kelly. He's fighting for all of us, and hashtag free Joe Kelly. Where's free Joe Kelly, man? I almost feel like it's menace to society. I got to go see him in jail with Purnell and put my fist on there and start crying and stuff because we need him back, Joe Kelly, but this bullpen is deep and they can man the storm. They can weather the storm without Joe Kelly as long as he's back by September 12th when the Dodgers face the Astros at Dodger Stadium. But Amari Parker, what up from Seoul, Korea? Yobaseo, Amari. We got Korea in the house. Shout out. Isaac Garza. Dodger bullpen is untouchable. Felix from Tacoma, Washington. Jose Rod, perfectly quiet Padres fans. Yeah, we're all those Padres fans. Yes, they still split and give them credit, but now we don't have a losing record against the Padres this year. Where are they at? Because they were, if you guys watched the show the other night, they were lurking in the comments. They were taking some victory laps, so we'll see if they're here. Tacoma, Washington from Sam. We got Ryan, finally. We got Doug Crosby. We got Felix. My friend says Muncy and Bellinger need a spiritual intervention. Hashtag kidding, not kidding. Hey, I think that baseball is a sport where every player is going to have its ups and downs, right? It's a sport where you're going to go through your struggles, but look, there's nothing harder to do in all of sports than hit a baseball. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if Damian Lillard drops 61 or Patrick Mahomes throws for 500 yards. The toughest thing to do is hit a baseball because you only got 4 or 5 cracks at it a night. Major league pitching is elite, and you saw major league averages are down. I think Max Muncy, I'm a little more encouraged with Cody Bellinger right now than I am with Max Muncy, but I think the important thing is that when you're struggling, you keep working at it. You keep chopping away, and you're going to get there. So Muncy and Belly need an exorcism from Stompy Joe. I like that. Pollock on deck from Sam. Cindy, bullpen is looking awesome. Mookie plays better in the leadoff spot. I think that Mookie made a statement today. I think he said, hey, Dave Roberts, you can write my name in granite when it comes to this leadoff spot because I got it done tonight. 3 home runs for Mookie. His 6th career 3 home run game, tied for most in Major League Baseball history. Guys, there's going to be a time 15, 20 years from now when Mookie Betts is in Cooperstown, he'll be wearing a Dodger hat, and you're going to remember nights like this for Mookie Betts. That is why you give him that $365 million. And to me, that's $365 million. Tonight he looked like he was worth $365 billion, okay? When you hit 3 bombs like that, and he just does everything at such a high level. This guy does not swing at balls outside of the zone. He hustles every play. His home run trot is a quick zip around the bases. You can't anything else. You just love what you're seeing from Mookie Betts. Although he had some struggles early on, that batting average is up to .319. I think he's knees deep in the MVP race. My preseason pick for MVP was Mookie Betts, and that he would be the first player since Frank Robinson to win MVPs in both leagues. And I feel that way right now. I think Mookie Betts is right on track to get that MVP. I see what Blackman's doing. There's a lot of great players so far, but Mookie Betts is just starting to catch real fire, and we'll see what he has in store tomorrow for the Angels. I think he's going to go off, play an old AL team, a little more familiar with the Angels. I think he'll have a big series there. But Obi Bellinger better come out of his slump against the Bat Angels from OB. Brula, I'm about to get Joe Kelly tattoo after those comments. I love that, bro. Get a Joe Kelly tattoo. Hit me up on Twitter, DMacLA. I want to post that, my man. Maybe if you get one, I'll get one. Hey, no, I don't know. Here we go. Dodgers lead the league in home runs now from Lynn. Yeah, the Dodgers lead the league now in big flies. The Padres are right up there, but the Dodgers, 6 home runs tonight for your boys in blue. What about Seager? Corey Seager came back tonight, goes 1 for 4, but it looks like he still has his timing. He still has his rhythm, and you saw that on his home run today. Took him deep, and back into this game. How about Chris Taylor? Not a lot of talk about Chris Taylor, but Chris Taylor, to me, that's his spot right there. Chris Taylor, looking at this box score tonight, Chris Taylor, he goes 3 for 4 again tonight. He's raised his average up to 288. Chris Taylor has always been a dangerous player at the plate. He's a guy that can scorch. He can hit home runs. He can hit for power. He can slug. But the most promising development when it comes to Chris Taylor is the fact that he's taking his walks. So that, to me, I think Chris Taylor is a guy that deserves serious consideration for a permanent spot in the Dodgers rotation, in the Dodgers lineup. So Chris Taylor now, he's hitting 288 on the year, 14 strikeouts, 10 walks. And that's what you want to see with Chris Taylor. If you want to compare that to Kike Hernandez, 13 strikeouts, 1 walk for Kike Hernandez. I think Kike Hernandez, a couple times a week, you see him in there, and you have his versatility on the bench if you need it. But I think that a major statement from Chris Taylor. He just looks like he's so much more comfortable out there. His understanding of the strike zone has improved so much this year, and I think he's made a real statement that he really needs to stay in this lineup on a permanent basis. And then there's... so how do you guys feel about Chris Taylor? Give me some comments on Chris Taylor here. What about Seager? Let's go. Nolan Roberts, he'll just jumble the lineup tomorrow. LOL, Brian Yamada. Hey, Brian, I'm going to think of you tomorrow when that lineup comes out, because I wouldn't put it past Doc to switch things up. Maybe he'll have Austin Barnes at leadoff tomorrow. I don't know. But Urias from Leon, are you worried about Bellinger and Muncy? Look, I think if it was last year's team and we didn't have Mookie Betts, I would be worried with this Dodgers lineup. But you have Mookie Betts. You have A.J. Pollock. You have Corey Seager. Guys that can carry an offense. And then at some point, Cody Bellinger is going to come around. And Max Muncy, you hope he's going to come around. Max Muncy is going through it in a bad way, but Max Muncy just has to get back to basics out there. And he's a guy that he just looks lost at the plate. He looks like a guy who's just not finding his pitch to hit. He's just late, swinging underneath stuff. And then Cody Bellinger, he's starting to get there as far as hard contact. The thing that really concerned me with Cody Bellinger was the fact that his barrel rate, and he was just not hitting. He was hitting the ball on the ground a lot, and today you see him starting to lift. And look, these guys are workhorses. I don't know if it's extra time in the cage. I don't know if it's extra film study. Call those Doug Latta or Craig Wallenbrock, all those swing gurus. I don't know what it's going to take, but those guys are going to get it together. And at some point, you're going to see some of the guys who are playing well right now start to have their struggles and maybe hit a little mini slump, and then they'll pick it up. So it's very rare that you see teams firing on all cylinders, but when Will Smith comes back, and if he's hitting, and then those guys start to hit, then the Death Star is fully operational, right? So I am a little more worried about Muncy than I am Bellinger, just because, look, Bellinger can help the team in other ways. But we got Christopher Areza. How's it going, my man? I've been saying Seager is the perfect complement to Betts leading off. Well, you're right on the money. I think Corey Seager right in that 2-hole, Betts right there to lead off. Man, that is, no one in the league has that kind of firepower in their 1 and 2 holes. No team in Major League Baseball. I don't care if you want to talk about the Yankees or any potent offenses out there. No one throws out there guys like Corey Seager and Mookie Betts in that situation. Michelle Carter, how's it going, Michelle? Mookie has openly said he prefers leading off. It works, so my guess is he probably won't be leading off tomorrow. You guys are too funny, man. I love it, though. Yeah, well, look, I think Mookie Betts, like I said, Mookie Betts is a guy that should be leading off, and then there's no question about it. That should be his role on a permanent basis. And I see the logic. I understand the logic. It's a trend in baseball. Have your best hitter at the 2-hole, because look, if he's at the 2-hole, he's probably going to get 50 to 60 more plate appearances, and then if you had him at the 3-hole. But Mookie Betts, no, he's a guy that should definitely be up there. And there is I think they just need to stop overthinking it. It's like genius syndrome, right? where you try to outsmart yourself by being too complicated. It's a little too much genius syndrome when it comes to Mookie Betts. You don't have to outsmart yourself. You put him you put him up there because he's a guy, all he knows how to do is score runs. He can do it by hitting leadoff home runs. He's a guy who can get on base, and you get him home. But you don't want to see Jock Peterson up there. Jock Peterson or anyone else for that matter. In 2019, Betts bat .326 at the leadoff spot. He had a .941 OPS and 13 extra base hits. This year, and batting first, he had .375 on base percentage. And he's a guy that, in 2018, batting leadoff, he had a .239 on base percentage and bat .346. So he's a guy that you want to see right up there, and I think that it's a no-brainer. Like I said, Mookie Betts should be hitting leadoff. Don't try to overcomplicate things. But if you listen to the last episode of the Blue Heaven podcast hosted by the senior editor of Dodgers Nation, Clint Pasillas and Brooke Smith, they were talking about having potentially Chris Taylor at the leadoff spot, and the way he's playing, I wouldn't mind seeing that. So fine, if you're going to have Mookie Betts at the 2-hole, maybe he has more opportunities to drive in runs, but you got to have a guy in the 1-hole that can get on base. And I think the way he's taking walks this year and getting hits, I'm starting to agree with Real FRG's take in potentially having Chris Taylor up there if it's not Mookie Betts. First choice to me is always going to be Mookie Betts, right? I want to see him leading it off. And here we go, Siegs are. But back in the comments, guys. My man Seager missed that bat. Doug Crosby keeps Seager, Pollock, CT3 around Betts. Excellent call, moving Belly and Muncy down for now. Yeah, look, Jock Peterson thrives in that spot. Jock Peterson, he's hitting 167 to lead off games this year when he's hitting leadoff. That's how much. That's what he's hitting when he's leading off this year for the Dodgers, and he's 2 for 25, hitting 80 in the 1-hole this year. So in total, I mean, Jock Peterson is having his issues with a 207 on base percentage. So look, that has not worked out. Jock Peterson leading off has worked out about as well as Jock Peterson at first base. So yeah, that's where he thrives. Down the lineup, you just can't have an automatic out coming up there, and a guy that every time the lineup turns over, Jock Peterson's up there, and then you're sacrificing that, and then Mookie Betts is coming out there with bases empty and 1 out. No, it's a no-brainer. I don't know why we're thinking about that. And like someone mentioned in the comments, I forgot who, but they mentioned that, Mookie Betts said himself that's where he feels more comfortable. And when you're a superstar, not a star, a superstar that hits 3 home runs in a game, and we're going to do what you have to say, okay? We're going to listen to you and not the other way around. Not all players are treated the same, okay? Not all players are treated equally. And Mookie Betts, a guy, you go up to him and you say, hey, Mookie, do you want to bet first? Do you want to bet second? Do you want to bet ninth? Do you want to bet eighth? And whatever he says, you do, right? So Corey, Kyle, we got Brian Gax with the high emoji. How's it going, Brian? CT3 needs some love too, exactly. We got Marco Castro. This lineup should be the postseason lineup. Hey, I would not be surprised if you see something similar to this come postseason. Haha, Menace to Society referencing from my man Joseph Megazzini, a day one here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. By the way, if you have not, be sure to join the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel right there, Dodgers Nation, youtube.com/Dodgers Nation TV. All the hype videos, press conferences. You got the Blue Heaven podcast hosted by the senior editors, Real FRG, Clint Pasillas, and Brooke Smith. And then you got this show if you want to go back and watch it. We're going to, definitely do that. And then gear up, get merched up. Get merched up. Go to DodgersNation.com/shop. You know that Joe Kelly shirt is hot. I'm telling you, that Joe Kelly shirt, I couldn't get one. I'd be rocking it right now. The greatest Dodgers merch in the game. So be sure to gear up. But here, back to the comments. We got great game. Go Dodgers from the 900-503. Wendy Miller. Ryan Montez. I think it's pretty clear to say we are getting hot. How would Scully have called it from Sam? CT3 batting. You know, Scully would have just said something and let the moment speak for itself. Vin Scully, the GOAT. Kidding, kinda. Can we have a cardboard cutout hit for Beatty? Matt Trotch, Muncy mashes and belly bombs are going to be abundant in games to come, and CT3 is always solid from Matt. Roger, Bellinger, Muncy, and Peterson all hitting well below the Mendoza line. Yeah, look, it's early. You saw how quickly the batting average can can go up. But yeah, that should really. That's something where, if you look at this Dodger team, it's almost like they had no business being tied for first place in an NL West that's very competitive this year. But you get those three guys going, and the Death Star is fully operational on offense. So I think that they're getting there. I think that the rhythm of the season, some guys are going to come out of the gates faster, some guys aren't. I think that Cody Bellinger, he did something that he's going to go back and regret. He's going to regret tinkering with his swing. And, yeah, they were mashing. Let's go. The Kyle Taylor is going to see more fastballs down the lineup. Great point. Exactly. You put guys down that lineup. They're going to get better pitches to hit in certain situations. And you're going to have guys that are going to capitalize from that, like Jock Peterson, like Chris Taylor when he's right in there, like Will Smith. So I think that this lineup pretty much makes itself out. I think that it's really, really cut and dry who's going to be in the top of that lineup right now. I want that shirt from Enjoy. Free Joe Kelly from Louise. Everyone give me a hashtag Free Joe Kelly, guys. 5 games when you don't even hit the guy. 5 games for a wild pitch, as Joe Kelly said himself. Meanwhile, you can cheat to win the 2017 World Series and get 0 games. Can someone make a case how that makes any sense? Because I'll be here all night. If you want to throw that in there, let me know. But we got our right-handed bats in the lineup are carrying us so far early in the season. We need to get the left-handed bats going, and we will even more. From Walter. Yeah, that's a great point right there. You want that balance in the lineup, and that's how this lineup is constructed. That's how this roster is constructed, to give you power on both sides of the plate. And at some point, Cody Bellinger is going to have to wake up. There's no if and or buts about it. Cody Bellinger needs to produce for this team if they expect to win a World Series, and you need power from that side of the plate and Max Muncy. So here we go. Let's hop back in here. There we go. All right. So Free Joe Kelly from Eloy. We got Ryan. We got, I agree, Santana is a great piece. He can throw gas. Yeah, Dennis Santana, a lot of life on his fastball for sure. Michelle Carter, Free Joe Kelly. Yeah, Joe Kelly, man. How do you guys feel about Joe Kelly? Give me one word. One word on how you feel about Joe Kelly. To me, he stepped up and he's represented Dodgers Nation. I'm still not quite ever going to forgive him for the Hanley Ramirez pitch, but this Dodger team needed someone to step up. He's the perfect guy for it. But here we go. Clayton Kershaw, by the way, goes tomorrow. He's 1-1 this year with a 3.6 ERA, a 1.10 whip, 10 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, and 2 starts. Had a great first start, and he had a great first start, and he struggled in his second start, gave up all those home runs. He was a beast at Riverside and still is from Leanne. Austin Barnes back in the game. Joe Kelly took one for the team. Exactly. He took one for the team. Exactly, that's what he did. And here we go. There we go. Scott Boras usually doesn't do extensions, but we'll see. Yeah, that's not Scott Boras' thing. If you expect to have something like what Mookie Betts did, an extension before the first game of the season, you're probably not going to get that. So Dodgers over Yanks in 7. Yeah, back into this game. So, yeah, back to Julio Urias tonight, or back to this game. We got, I think we want to touch on now. Yeah, the jock. So in the, how do you think about Chris Paddock? Any comments on Chris Paddock today? The sheriff, Chris Paddock. Look, his fastball is not as good as it needs to be the pitcher that he and the Padres fans think he is. So if you saw tonight, the Dodgers, they made quick work of Chris Paddock. He gets knocked out. They touch him up for 6 runs on 6 hits in just 3 innings. And in that 3rd inning, you had the base hit that kicked past Olivares. Turner has the 8-game hit streak extended. And then a hard hit out for Cody Bellinger. Then Pollock doubled to right, scoring Turner on another fastball. And they were just squaring up Chris Paddock fastballs all night long. So it was up and in, and it went to right. Then Pollock was thrown out trying to steal third. Tried to steal third on that switch, but that was it for Chris Paddock. And here we go. Eloy loved how Urias was working right along, not too long in between pitches. Yeah, once he started to get going, he was mowing guys down out there. Soft contact, missing bats. And Julio Urias took a major step in the right direction. Absolutely. So, and in the fourth, more about this Dodgers offense. Chris Taylor drilled one to left for his second double in consecutive at-bats. A real smoker for CT3. CT3, I don't have the miles per hour on that one, but CT3, another smoker for him. And then Austin Barnes, the 2-run shot. Austin Barnes, his fourth home run, the fourth home run for the Dodgers on the night. He crushes that high changeup for the Dodgers. And then Mookie Betts hits another home run back-to-back. So back-to-back home runs. The second Mookie one, 103.3 miles per hour off the bat. Corey Seager takes a walk. Justin Turner strikes out swinging. Bellinger walks, and then Muncy strikes out. And then in the fifth, Chris Taylor legs out a single on a fantastic effort from Fernando Tatis Jr. A fantastic effort right there. But Chris Taylor is him and Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger. They're three of the best athletes, not just on the Dodgers. They're three of the best athletes in all Major League Baseball. And you saw it on full display on that play. He goes 3 for 3 on the night at that point. And then Austin Barnes, he grounds into a force on a 5-4-3 out for just 1 out. They went back and reviewed it. So Dodgers offense gets it done tonight. The bats come alive, erupting for 11 runs. And Chris Paddock was shocked after Mookie's first home run from Isaac Garza. Chris Paddock says he is going to be a Hall of Famer. Yeah, a lot of talk. Hey, you gotta back it up. You talk to me after 8 to 12 elite years. Before then, you can think you're a Hall of Famer, but I wouldn't announce that to the world if I was Chris Paddock, because Chris Paddock tonight, 3 innings for Chris Paddock. And against the Dodgers in his career heading into tonight, he was 1-1 with a 5.75 ERA, 21 strikeouts to just 3 walks. So he is a guy that when he's right, knows how to punch guys out. He's got that plus changeup. The Dodgers, they have struggled against off-speed, and particularly changeup. So I thought it was going to be a tougher night for the Dodgers offense, but they came to play today. They woke up. The bats erupted. 11 runs, 6 home runs for the Dodgers tonight, and it was ugly early. Like I said, the Padres had 2 runs before you took a sip of your first michelada, but give the Dodgers credit. They took the offense in their own hands, and they came alive. And then the Dodgers bullpen, another scoreless game. They were putting up zeros, and look, the Dodgers, they just rely on the home run. Like Monday, no home runs. Well, no, Monday, they scored 1 run, no home runs, they lost. Tuesday, 2 runs, no home runs, they lost. Yesterday, Justin Turner, he hits a bomb in the 8th, and they blew it wide open. They win 6-0. Tonight, they hit 6 home runs. I think the Dodgers, at some point, you just have to accept your identity. But I think that we will look back on yesterday's game and realize that if the bats are cold and the ball's just not carrying or whatever it may be, that playing small ball is not the worst thing. And I'm extremely here for some small ball Dodgers every now and then if it wakes up the offense. So, but here we go. We got Paddock is good. Got to give him that. But we lit him up tonight. Loved it from Doug Crosby. We got CT3 Mookie had an amazing night from Train. Shout out to CT3 for pulling 3 for 4 and helping Mookie hit jacks. Yeah, exactly. Look, when you hit home runs like that, I don't know if you heard Mookie Betts, after he was hitting home run, he was yelling, "Who's next?" So it is contagious, and guys are going big fly. And look, there is a tension between this Padres and Dodgers team. There definitely is a tension there. You saw Austin Barnes. He was talking yesterday. So give Austin Barnes credit, man. He knows the hate's there. He feels the vitriol from Dodger fans when you guys try to drag him. And yes, Austin Barnes is not the best hitting catcher, to say the least. And he's not a guy that I want to see catch more games than Will Smith, especially the way that Will Smith was looking before he went down with the injury. But he should be back very shortly here. Austin Barnes has a lot of heart. He's a gutsy guy. And he's a guy that you want in there. And I think that let's just embrace Austin Barnes for who he is, and let's focus on the management that puts Austin Barnes in games. And we don't know what's going on behind closed doors as far as pitchers that are advocating for Austin Barnes. Guys like Clayton Kershaw. I bet you that Austin Barnes will be his catcher for the remainder of the season. So, unfortunately, pitchers are a creature of habit, and they like to pitch to certain guys. And what he does good, he does at a pretty elite level as far as pitch framing goes and that sort of thing. But I think Barnes is coming back from train. You think Betts was hit on purpose? I don't think you hit Mookie Betts on purpose, but Chris Paddock hit Mookie Betts, and Mookie Betts hit them back with 3 home runs. So that is how you take revenge. Remember what I said? The best type of revenge is success, and Mookie Betts, he's way above that stuff. He probably doesn't even know who Chris Paddock is, okay? He's at a level that only a few guys in this league are out. And when I say a few, I mean just one, and that's Mike Trout, right? So, yeah. How do you guys, and Mike Trout, look, how do you guys feel about that matchup with the Angels and Mike Trout? The Angels, Dylan Bundy's been pitching pretty well for them, but Kelly started off rough last year, but this year everybody gonna have a Joe Kelly jersey. Yeah, Betts laughed it off. Betts laughed it off. Sorry, like it was nothing from Loner. Yeah, Mookie Betts is like, come on, man, I'm Mookie Betts. You think I'm worried about that? He's not worried about. He's not worried about that. Cody deserves better from Train. I wish Cody would come back. Tina G-Man, let's go Dodgers. I hope they get Kershaw some run support tomorrow against the Angels. I think they will. I think this Dodgers offense is hungry right now. There's been a fire that's been lit under this Dodgers offense. A lot of you guys on Tuesday were pushing for a players-only meeting. I don't know if something like that went down, but this Dodgers offense, they look like they're ready to get hot more consistently. More consistent at-bats for this Dodger team, and I think you're going to start to see that against the Angels. So, yeah, definitely, look, I don't think, going back to that Mookie Betts thing, there's no Chris Paddock. He doesn't leave hitters trembling, and definitely not Mookie Betts. So, here we go. We got Trout is good, but Mookie's better. Look, I was saying that, the best player, we'll see. I mean, it's tough to say. I'm not going to disrespect Mike Trout like that. Mike Trout is absolutely absurd. So, I mean, Mike Trout hit. Wait a second. Mike Trout hit 3 home runs the other night, didn't he? So, hey, in L.A., we know we have the 2 best players in Major League Baseball. Of course, they're L.A. by name, but really they're the L.A. Angels of Anaheim, of Los Angeles, of California, of United States, of Earth, of Universe, of Galaxy. I don't even know what you call that. But, yeah, Mookie Betts, I don't think that you can disrespect. Mike Trout this year is still OPSing 1115 or 1,115 on the year, and he has 8 home runs, 18 strikeouts, 5 walks, and he's hitting .328. So Mike Trout is still the best player in the game. But Mookie Betts, there could be a rivalry for years to come because Mookie Betts is younger than Mike Trout. So in a few years, maybe next year or the year after that, it's possible. But, yeah, guys, get a couple more of your Fire Dodger takes in here. About to head out pretty soon. Thanks for rocking with us, as always, here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. The Dodgers get the win tonight. The bats explode for 6 home runs. 3 in the first, a 2-run home run for Seager, a solo shot for 2-run home for Seager, a solo shot for Pollock. Dodgers prevail against the Padres. They punish the Padres 11 runs on 13 hits, including 6 home runs, and an impressive bounce-back game from Julio Urias, who gave up 2 in the first, but would cruise really for the most part for the rest of the way. And a big step in the right direction. He gets the win. He's 2-0 on the year with a 2.53 ERA. Dodgers are tied for first in the NL West. Tomorrow they play the Angels. You can follow me at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. Don't forget to head over to Dodgers Nation for all the greatest Dodgers content, the greatest writers in the game. AJ Gonzalez, Jason McClure, Clint Pasillas, Brooks Smith, all the greatest writers in the game, and all the greatest Dodgers content. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and definitely subscribe to that YouTube channel. We'll be back again Sunday after Sunday's game, right after the game, so be ready with those Fire Dodger takes like you always do. But thanks again, guys. Have a great rest of your night, and as always, go Dodgers.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Justin Turner.
And for the second consecutive season, the Dodgers are going